Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with the feature race here from the Circuit Barcelona. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live yesterday where we jumped into qualifying and the sprint race, I would highly recommend going back and checking out a very exciting sprint race in the end. It did come down to the wire between myself and a fellow driver there. Of course, I won't leave spoilers just at the start, but click the eye at the top right-hand side of the screen if you want to go check that video out. Of course, as well, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you for the insane and continued support on our F1 Formula 1 related content. Of course, getting very close now to 90,000 subscribers. So if you're new around here and you're not already, please do make sure you get yourself subscribed for daily Formula 1 themed videos. But yeah, let's get into it though. Feature race here today from Barcelona, 19 laps ahead of us starting from P10. Fingers crossed we can have another good race and maybe, just maybe, outfinish Felipe Drugovich. 1 point, the gap between us, as we head into the feature today, but he is starting a long way up the grid. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
We're returning for the second event of the day after an amazing sprint race this morning. The top 10 drivers have been reversed, setting up for another exciting race to round out the first day of the weekend. We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Richard Verschoor lines up on pole position, and it's Jack Doohan in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Drugovich, Hauger, Logan Sargent, Hughes, Armstrong, Vips, Novalak, Teo Porcher, Fittipaldi, Williams, Amory Cordial and Sato, Caldwell, Deruvula, Bulkbassi, Ayumu Awasa, Lawson, Vesti, Nissani and Ralph Boschon completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Right, well here we are then, on the grid, ready for the feature race here from Barcelona. Starting down in P10, it looks like the team wants us to go softs to hards, but that is not the way I really want to take this one today. We need to go like... I mean, it's so weirdly difficult to try and set this up on F2 2022, but that's what we're going to be going with, hards to softs. Then we want to be quick towards the end of the Grand Prix here today. For those of you that want to know my setups in the Formula 2 cars, there is a pretty good indicator of what we are running. But yeah, 19 laps ahead of us. The sprint race yesterday ended up going pretty well. It looks like we are the only car though on the hards, or at least anywhere close to me, so this one might get interesting. A well-timed safety car could make our race. A badly timed one could absolutely send it to the shadow round. Right, well, it is going to be Richard Verschoor then, starting from the pole here in this feature race today. But yeah, this one's probably going to be quite a weird race, and I think it's the first time this year anyone has tried the alternate strategy in these F2 cars. So we're probably going to lose a couple of places off the start. Not that I need to tell you guys that anyway, it's just kind of a given on the Map 212 channel. Once again lining up quite nicely though on the grid. Ralph Boschon will once again round out the field. But yeah, let's see what we can do then here at the start of this feature race. Like I said, 19 laps ahead of us. It is a bit more of an endurance than the race we did yesterday. Waiting on those 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. And actually, oh no, it was Novalak who didn't get a good start either there, as Enzo Fittipaldi immediately will try and slice his way down the middle on the run down towards turn 1. We got Williams having a look around the outside of us in towards the first corner, but nice and tidy Try and just tuck the car in through turn 1 there. As Fittipaldi just will slam the door on me on the exit of the first turn, but just got to be really, really careful. We've got to remember this race is going to come to us later on in the afternoon, so just, whoa, that's exactly what I was talking about. Just got to try and keep the nose clean early on. As you can just see, I think, no, Richard Shaw, long way got clear at the front of the field there as well. More contact between Fittipaldi and Clement Novelak. We had someone trying to look up the inside of ourselves. I think that was Williams. Once again, there is Sato just behind us, of course, had mechanical failure in yesterday's sprint race, but everyone, of course, wants to try and gain places early on in the feature. Of course, points available to everyone inside the top 10 there. As the main reason I wanted to start on the hards was, of course, the fact we used them yesterday, so we know what sort of grip levels we should be expecting. But here comes Williams down in towards the final sector there. Of course, we've probably got a big target on our head, as again we run a little bit wide there, trying to get heat into the rubber. Whoa! Do not hit that curb, Matt. You do not want to hit that curb, as Callum Williams will say thank you very much there. Just sees myself sliding around through the final couple of turns of lap 1. But Vashaw will lead the way then in his Trident as we get jumped by his teammate there down through the final couple of corners. Richard Vashaw leads the way at the end of the opening lap there. I'm pretty certain it's still Jack Doohan and Felipe Dragovic second and third. We've lost 2 places early on, but like I said, from about lap 12 onwards, we should be the quickest car on the track by a comfortable margin. So that is, again, a lot of understeer through turn 1 and a lot of wobble through turn 2. Oh, here comes Sato, though, as we head down the back straight here on lap 2. No, actually, the young Japanese driver will give us the track space, and I was so expecting the dive bomb there, I even just ran myself a tiny bit wide, but we've got to try and stay within the DRS range of Williams in front. I don't know how long those soft tyres will be quicker for. You'd imagine it's going to be at least sort of 5 or 6 laps, but as I thought there, we just closed up a bit, but of course it is the Constantina effect, but luckily we're still inside 1 second for now, as Jack Doohan, new fastest lap of the day, but under pressure still from Dragovic. Sato, though, as we head back down towards turn 1, surely this time round he's going to be able to pull off the move. Very, very aggressive move there from Sato. We're going to get a bit wedged over the curbing, and you and I, Virtuosi, will say thank you very much. Mark trying to give me some words of motivation there as we just hang on to the car through turn 3, but again, we cannot really do a lot early on. Well, we are luckily going to be within DRS range of the car in front, but sadly it's not quite the car I wanted to be within range of at this stage of the day. We've got Jehan Daruvala, Amaury Cordeel just behind us now to try and keep us company as well, but yeah, if we can just stick inside the toe of Sato, I think, yeah, the AI surely will be boxing sort of lap 7, lap 8. Oh, and now we've lost the DRS to Sato as well there, so Jehan Daruvala is probably going to say thank you very much in his Prema car back down towards turn 1. Oh, a little bit of front locking there as we wanted to tuck in behind the Indian driver, but yeah, we're just, I mean, I knew we were going to lose places early on, but it doesn't make it any easier when it just keeps on happening. We've just got to remember how much quicker we should be towards the end of the Grand Prix, but I mean, if we're not, then we are screwed. As we get towards 1/3 distance then, this is where I was hoping these tyres would start to come back into their own, but it seems like we're just still losing a little bit to Jehan Daruvala just in front of me. I mean, he's a man on a mission at the moment trying to get within the range of those cars in front. But yeah, I'm really hoping we start to see a bit of a crossover now, but might mean, of course, that we can jump onto the softs a little bit earlier, and then, like I said, hopefully, I'm really hoping we've got a lot of extra grip and pace later on in the day, but I'm also thinking, where are we going to be able to move past other cars? I guess we're just going to have to try and hang on through the corners and try and catapult ourselves down the straights. And now we're starting to see a bit of a transfer of pace then between the softs and the hards as we head out of the final corner. There we go, Mark just confirming it as well, but of course still stuck in the DRS range, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to make much of an impact. We are just going to have to wait for cars to start pitting, I feel, but maybe, just maybe, now Jehan Daruvala is going to have a bit of a disadvantage and try and just work some magic somewhere as we try and get really brave through turn 3 there. You can see those soft tyres, you just don't quite have the confidence anymore to keep it pinned. Of course, we are definitely still running a lot more downforce there as we try and put the power down off the corner. Oh, I think about it, Jehan Daruvala is aware of it though. He's going to try and park that Prema car defensive as we head down the hill, and you just cannot quite get the throttle down like that. If the turbo spools up in such an aggressive manner, you'll just get wheel spin rather than a slingshot. It's not like the F1 cars. Right, are we going to see anyone into the pit lane then at the end of lap 8? It is meaning we aren't going to get much clear air either, of course, because we're going to have to box not long after us. They're still staying out. So all of these cars then reckon they can go at least pretty much the half distance of this Grand Prix. So we might actually end up boxing with some of the soft compound runners. Yeah, look at that. We're approaching the pit window as well. Luckily, we're still ahead of Fred Vesti there, but I'm a bit worried we're going to pit on the same lap. So Jay and Arugula is struggling a bit more on the brakes down at turn 1. And that's really compromised us. But yeah, we might end up boxing at the same time. And then hopefully just having a huge grip premium to pick our way through. We go first cars into the pit lane then, as we ran through the final couple of turns of lap 9. Unfortunately, Jay and Arugula is not one of them. But we are a lot closer here to try and potentially get a run on him as we head down back towards turn 1 there. Fred Vesti in. We are going to definitely box then at the end of this lap. You can see the gap to Richard Verschoor and Felipe Drogovic at the front of the field there is up the inside of Jay and Arugula will go. Finally a move I think we've actually pulled off this weekend on circuit. So far we haven't pulled off many, but nice little send on Arugula down at the first corner. I'm aware it's currently full, but we're not there, Mark. Just let me box at the end of this lap, man. Right, end of lap 10 then. Everyone else, I think, is going to be peeling into the pit lane here as we're still all over the back of Marina Sato. They've got to be really careful of the wall on the way in. 37 miles an hour. Just absolutely mash the brake on the way into the pit lane here. But getting ready then for our grid slot. Can we try and get a good clean pit stop here? Oh, it's only good. That's not going to do us any favours. I've got no idea who's going to appear where. There's our big rival Drogovic. A long way up the front of the grid. And I think we're still right behind Sato, so I don't think we've lost out anything from this. We're actually ahead of Jay and Arugula still, which is reassuring. Where are we going to re-emerge in this Grand Prix? It's going to be about P14 then, by the looks of it. P13 of this race, still just ahead of J-Am. But yeah, now we've got cold tyres, but much quicker tyres to see us through to the end of the Grand Prix. There is Williams and Sato side by side out of the pit lane there through turn 3, and we're going to say thank you very much. Up the inside of Callum Williams will go. Can we try and make it 2 moves in 1? Not quite that brave as Clement Novalak, of course our rival yesterday, just up the road. Callum Williams still trying to find the space, but we will slam the door there on the exit. Thinks about it, but you're going to have to get up pretty early to try and get that little move done on myself. But now we can really push. Looks like Jack Doohan has taken the lead of the race there, but yeah, Felipe Drogovic still in P3. It's going to be a question of damage limitation, but look how much grip we've got now. This is the kind of battle that I was hoping for. Sato, don't even think he wants to battle it, to be honest. I think he knows it's a pretty worthless battle to get himself involved with, and that's immediately us back up to where we were by the end of lap 1. I mean, this is what I was hoping would happen as we head out of the final corner. Look at that, Novalak, not even confident enough to take it. Completely pinned there as he still tries to get heat into that MP Motorsport car's 4 tyres, but he's going to try and defend from me, of course, for his teammate. Around the outside will look, though, we've got so much extra grip. Thank you very much, Clement Novalak. We're back into the points of this race, and there is still 8 laps to go to try and get more. At the moment, it's like you're racing against Formula 3 cars who've just got so much extra pace, so much confidence in the car at the moment. As up the inside of Fittipaldi will go. Brazilian jumps out of the way there, and that was quite a robust move, but a move we had to pull off. Next up, we've got both high-techs in this race. Of course, we were 3 wide with at the start of the sprint yesterday. New fast lap of the day. That one should pretty much be ours for the taking. We'll have the bonus point. Thank you very much. Right, 6 laps to go, and then all over the back of both high-tech cars now. Yeah, finally are starting to show a bit of promise this season. They haven't got a bad lineup down at high-tech. They just haven't seemed to have been at the right place at the right time so far. As now you can just see still how much more confident we are through that final corner. Are we going to be able to get a run on Yuri Vips? Of course, he's still got the DRS. We are just inching closer and closer to the Estonian. We'll pull out the slipstream last second. Very late on the brakes, but not the first time we've overtaken Yuri Vips on track this year, and hopefully won't be the last either. Next up, Armstrong. What we have also got to consider, of course, is we need to make moves as well. Yellow flag's out. Someone's going slowly. No, it's Jack Doohan! Jack Doohan, I think he was still in P3. Whoa! We've got an illegal overtake on Armstrong because of it. What is going on there? Come on, Armstrong, get through. Thank you. That was crazy. Jack Doohan, I think, was trying to peel off to the other side of the circuit there, but almost took about 3 cars out with him, and somehow he kept it pointing in the right direction there. That was one of the scariest moments I think we've had so far in this series, but it should leave Armstrong vulnerable to an attack down towards turn 1 there, but out of the final corner. Poor Jack Doohan, you and I virtuosi, no luck this weekend with mechanical issues there, as Drogovic now has taken the lead ahead of Richard Verschoor. Armstrong, don't you try that, my friend. As we head back down towards turn 1, they're clean around the outside of the high-tech, who's going to try and keep the nose there. We'll give him the room. But we are now up into P6 then of this race, but 5 laps to go. 3 seconds up to Jake Hughes up the road. We have got to be a bit careful, as these tyres, there's a very good chance they'll fall off by the end of this one as well. So just going to try and nurse them. Still focused on closing up the gaps. 3 laps to go then of this race, closing in on Jake Hughes, Logan Sargent, and I'm pretty certain Dennis Hauger up in P3. And look at the tyre wear, it's non-existent around this circuit. We're going to be at about 50% by the end of this race there. It makes me wonder whether we could have pit a little bit earlier onto these soft compound tyres, but yeah, there is still every opportunity for a podium today, as tyre wear around Barcelona has been uncharacteristically low. Right, 2 laps to go then here from Barcelona, and we are now all over the back of Jake Hughes. Rear tyres just having a bit of a wobble that time round as we head over the start-finish line, but can we try and make a move on the Van Amersfoort car as we head back down towards turn 1 there? He's going to go very, very defensive. Is Jake Hughes, will keep him pinned to that defensive line, and oh, a lot of contact as we head through turn 1 there. We're going to have to head around the escape road off the corner, and big bump on the exit there as well. That's going to push us a long, long way back behind the Van Amersfoort car, but we've got to try and get back to him before the end of this race. Pushed hard on this penultimate lap just to try and get a bit closer to Jake Hughes once again there, and apparently, yeah, really does want to try and get his elbows out over these last couple of laps. He's got the DRS still on Logan Sargent, so we're certainly not going to be able to do anything on the run back down towards turn 1 there, but it looks like Felipe Drogovic is going to get the race victory here, so the full 25 points for our big championship rival, and I mean, any points could be critical at this stage of the game, so can we try and get a bit closer to Hughes and Sargent on this final lap there? Completely keep the car pinned through turn 3 there, hanging right on the white line on the exit of the corner. You can just see still how much grip we've got as we push the front end of the car into the corners here. We might be able to get Hughes, but I don't see any way we're going to be able to get Sargent on the final lap of this race then. We've just got to keep trying to push, keep trying to get everything we can out of this ART car, as Hauger looks like he should be able to get back on the podium, reminiscent of his Formula 3 days, but up through Capsa Corner for the final time in this feature race. They're chronic understeer that time, and that might be what puts pay to us, trying to move up into P5 of this race. We're not going to give up just yet there. Can we try and get a run on Jake Hughes? I think the fronts are starting just to give up a little bit. It's the car just sliding around underneath me as we head up through the final few turns of this feature race here from Barcelona. Can we just tip it through? Have a look up the inside of Jake Hughes in towards the final chicane. Yes, we will. The second move of the day through there, and it will be P5 then in the end. After a cheeky last couple of corners move, Drogovic will win, but we will recover to 5th.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A nearly flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
I think this race was won thanks to the tire management. You have to remember, it's not just about going as fast as you can. It's about consistency. It's about maintaining your speed over an entire race distance. So being able to keep the lap time competitive while still respecting the tires, that's where they won today.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the MP Motorsport team, and I'm very happy to see them up there on the top step of the podium. And now let's take a look at the driver's stand. It's a good result for Felipe Dragovic, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
My driver of the day was Theo Purcher. He did a cracking job moving through the field. Just a very good race.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Teams Championship. MP Motorsport move to the top of the table. Meanwhile, Prema have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way to the top. There will be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you'll join us at the next race when Formula 2 returns.
Well, there we are then, the end of the F2 weekend here from Barcelona, and it is Felipe Drugovich who once again claims the race victory there. Richard Verschoor P2 ahead of Hauger Sargent and ourselves there, just beating out Jake Hughes with that daring last lap overtake there. Armstrong and Yuri Vips get high-tech another double points finish there ahead of Enzo Fittipaldi, and Clement Novalak means MP Motorsport as well get both cars inside the top 10 there. We just need Vesti to start putting his weight a bit more and hopefully give us a Constructors' Championship battle as well. Final race results though for the weekend. You can see Drugovich here, 25 points there to my 20, courtesy of 2 fastest lap bonus points. They're tied with Richard Verschoor, of course. Dennis Hauger 17 ahead of Sargent and Armstrong, and then you can have a look right now the rest of the order there. Only 10 cars this weekend able to score points. Championship-wise, though, it does mean, yep, the gap at the top opens up to 15 points there between myself and Drugovich. But look at that, a 43-point gap. Then back to Callum Williams behind there. Everyone else is in a titanic battle for P3, but it really is just myself and Drugovich that are walking away at the front of the table. Hauger, Verschoor, and Sargent jump Caldwell, Lawson, Daruvula, Doohan, Iwasa, and Fred Vesti there in what is just a ridiculous battle. 8 points covering about 8 cars at the moment. Clement Novalak again, though, jumps past Vips and Cordeal. Hughes now up into P18 ahead of Armstrong. And yeah, Fittipaldi down in 20th place there. Despite, I thought Fittipaldi honestly had a stronger start to the year, but apparently not. Teams-wise, MP Motorsport 13 points clear. You can see only Charouz haven't lost or gained a place this weekend. MP jump us, Trident jump UNI Virtuosi. Prema jump Carlin, they're tied now with UNI Virtuosi. High-Tech jump Campos, Van Amersfoort jump Dams once more. And yeah, pretty crazy turnaround. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well. And we will return next weekend, the duel in the Formula 2 crown. We head out to Monaco. That one is going to be interesting. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.